What's up? It's your man JL Robinson. You now tuning into the No Name Podcast, and I got my good brother here, D Nas. What's up with you, yo?
What's up, homie? What's up with you?
Yo, man. Hey, he just told me that he got stabbed in the chest by his mom's boyfriend. I'm like
Michael Myers.
I was like, yo, what the world, son? I was like, yo, man, you gotta tell me about this story, yo.
Excuse me. Yeah. Let's start at my mama. Pat Graham, strong black woman.
Mm-hmm.
She was dealing with a little abusive relationship.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Coming in from the club one night, and I was born to protect. There's a lot that goes behind my mama dealing with abuse and me protecting her and fighting for her. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of them nights though. I already got tired of her being cussed out, and I was sitting in a room and I was hearing them arguing, and I said, "You call a bitch one more time, I'm gonna kick that door in."
Okay.
So kick the door in. We get the rumbling. Look, I had him, y'all. My mama get in the way. He picked me up and poked him in the eye. Look, rushed him into the fish tank. We break the fish tank. The fish tank, water everywhere, y'all.
Yeah.
She get in the way to try to block him. Reached over, grown man, though. It was over. Knocked out. I woke up to my mama's eye being like seriously like black and swollen, bruised, and he broke my ankle, and I had a stab wound in my chest.
Damn.
Yeah, and he tried to set the house on fire.
Damn. I was not ready for that. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. But through the grace of God, we made it out. So during that time, my mama also suffered from paranoid schizophrenic, so I do too. And but the way she sees things is, I think the medicine or whatever give her hallucinations.
Okay.
Because by the judgment of her, made me keep mine secret because I don't see like hallucinations. You know what I mean? I see spirits, souls, and I hear your real thoughts. So being as a child and hearing them judge her, and then thinking to myself, like, well, I don't see those things, and I see those things. I mean, what I see is people that she think might be cool. I see the bad in them, and I can hear what they think. And then as a child, nobody gonna believe you. So, and there was a little conflict of interest. I didn't know what I was going through. On the same time, trying to understand my mama. So, it was a while, but I grew. It didn't go past me being a kid. By the time I was 15, my grandma gave me a talk about her, and I started to understand my mom. And by the time I was 18, I completely understand, and we got the most gratefulest, best relationship ever, which we always did. I just was her protector, so that's what got me on that balance, and that's what got me on the journey. Yeah, a lot of other stuff happened before we got to the balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm almost afraid to ask, like, is there anything else?
Yeah, homeless. Homeless. Lost it all. Lost my kids. I got 10 kids. I got 5 of them grown, and 5 of them are still growing up. And the first half of my life was a very learning experience, and it still is. And I could have made better decisions because I was thinking I was being a great person. But, as I look back, I could have made decisions before it got to certain points. And it might prevented that. So, and I had to go through being homeless, losing it all, and staying focused. And then gaining everything back by just not blaming nobody. By just, if I was going to blame somebody, I was going to blame myself, put the focus on myself, put the energy in myself. And I just had to go through a process of, trying to balance it all. And with that, it was just its own struggles. Then you got everybody else, and then you got all types of energies that can play into that. So it works, huh?
I think that's a beautiful thing because I never knew that about you. Like we go back. We used to go to school together. We used to live in like Southwest together, and we always been on like this music tip thing. But it's like I never had an opportunity to unpack these type of things to really know like a person. You know what I'm saying? Like like you know how like you just know a person through the music, for example, but like just hearing your story, you know what I mean? I think that's a beautiful journey, and like what are the positive things that you feel like that came from your journey?
Uh, Not putting it on people and not feeling like, all right, I'm keeping it to myself. I know, anytime I interact with people and stuff is, I wanted to separate the feelings. So I did get attached to making people try to, accept me or, get this type of energy around. So I wouldn't dare tell nobody none of that stuff or try to be, sympathetic to anything so it's a good thing. And the positive is the relationships. Is that I look for pure relationship, genuine relationships. So for it not to me feel like it's sympathetic, it works better for me. So I can see a person's real character. Because then if you do get to know that, you might feel sympathetic about. And I don't want that because it's somebody out there that's going through worse, and I understand that more than anybody. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. It's like yo, I'm going through some things. I have some things with me. We all have things with ourselves, but like I don't want to be looked at like a charity case. Like like if I tell you I got problems with myself, like don't treat me like a problem. You know what I mean?
I'm not the problem. I'm gonna get past it, but I might prevent myself from help or people understanding me too, because I had to go through a journey where I still didn't think I was being cared about. You know what I mean? I just wanted people to guess. I'm not telling nobody what's going on, but I want you know what I mean? I wanted certain feelings that I wasn't receiving. So I had to go through that too, and to be able to express myself if I was going through something and to be able to talk about it.
Yeah. So like you had needs that you needed from other people, but you weren't able to tell them. But you had like an expectation that you haven't told people yet.
Because I thought people see people like I did.
You know what? I feel like that's where I'm at right now, yo, for real.
I did. I really did.
Yeah. So I understand, yo.
I really did. So that's about the positive, man. I just get to enjoy and get to watch from a bird's eye view of, a genuine person, and I get to build genuine relationships with those type of people. So it always works out.
That's what's up. I love how you talk about balance a lot. You got a song called "I'm God," and you're talking about balance in that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. God. I'm just breaking it down into short form of my life and obstacles that everybody gonna go through. But you can't put your energy into neither one of them. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna need something for something. You can't really eliminate anything that's you. You really gotta embrace it and balance it out, no matter what you don't like about yourself. So with the God, it definitely make me embrace myself. And I'm on a hair journey because I was taking medicine, so I ain't got fully hair, so I need to show that, and you know what I mean, and show my flaws and accept it out too, so everybody else can accept theirs.
Like having compassion for yourself.
Yeah, we cool. Like everybody, just we all a little dysfunctional if you want to put a little thought into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's a generational thing that I've noticed for me is like having grandparents who are critical of my parents, and then my parents being critical to me, and then I'm being critical to my kids. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that criticalness makes you self-conscious and makes you build up a lot of shame and guilt. And it's like having compassion and understanding the dark side and the light side, and having compassion for yourself. We all can return back to like loving ourselves and not beating ourselves up for the mistakes that we do, yo.
Yeah, because you just gotta look at it now, because you gotta take accountability with it and take action, and it's that simple. Emotion is a thought. It ain't you. You know what I mean? It's just a thought. It can become a feeling, but you ain't gotta bask in it. But you got to get the work. If something broke, you can like man, but how long is you gonna man about it? You're gonna have to get to fixing it.
Yeah.
And then and sometimes if you appreciate the steps of fixing it and putting it back together, you might forget about it ever being whole and just appreciating you fixing it when it was broke.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said that because I feel like for my life I had to I've been stuck in the same place because like I've been dwelling on the past and like being stuck there of always thinking about the problems and doing nothing to get yourself to the next part of your life. Like yo, I've spent years, if not decades, being stuck in the same place just because of that. So I understand, yo.
Yeah, it's a funny thing with that, right? Because it can work. It can work a good way for you, then it can switch bad, right? Because
Yeah.
you can have it. I'm gonna put it this way, just to make it short. You can have something work so good for you, right, and you get so used to it, then you get stuck, and then it start working against you. You get what I'm saying? So you 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 gotta always work on change, even when you're comfortable. You gotta always work on getting better when you're comfortable. You gotta always work on getting better when you're happy. You gotta boost the happiness. People only put so much work in when they're down. I understand the work it takes to get you back up, but you gotta understand that work. You're stable, you're happy. Look, you ain't got to put too much energy in your happiness, and it will still build up if you do it that way. But you got to understand it takes a lot of work to get you to even being stable from being down. So you got to celebrate when you there too and put that same energy in it if you're going to do it like that, because that's the way I approach it.
Yo, you said something that stuck with me. You were saying about about like you gotta work to improve yourself even when you're comfortable. And I feel like yo, that is one of my biggest things that I like that kept me from growing is the fact that like everything was comfortable for me, yo. So like how do you find the ability to work extra hard at a time you feel comfortable, yo?
Um, it comes from being your own cheerleader. It comes from doing things with no results for a long time. It comes from, you know what I mean? It's like a gym, but it's a real game, but it's no crowd. You know what I mean? It's like the COVID, like when they was playing in the COVID, no point intended, but it's just like that. You gotta enjoy it. You gotta find some type of love into doing anything you're doing to progress and make yourself better. I don't see why you wouldn't enjoy it. You know what I mean? I don't see why little small steps. And I understand that some people can't appreciate that. But, I don't know nobody that ever took a leap and got something in my life. Other people might have, and I congratulate them. But everybody I know and everybody I watched and I get inspired by set baby steps. And then they just turned around and it was a big moment.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing for myself, yo. Like, I lost 115 pounds doing baby steps, yo. And like, I did totally remove the like outcome of like, I might say I'm over here saying 115 pounds, but that's just what it is right now. But like in the process, you do got to do micro things like consistently over time and just like focus on the process instead of just like worrying about the outcome. So like, I feel you on that. I'm gonna lead to my next question, cause we on a serious tip, but it's like I want to bring it back to like the comedy thing, cause like I see his like Facebook all the time, and he has like these skits on there, right? and we shot a video, Love for Sale. And he was reenacting the scene. What was it from?
From Waiting to Exhale.
From Waiting to Exhale.
Yeah, dude in the all leather jacket. When he threw the orange and shorty when they was arguing on the porch. I don't know how I got that idea. I'm goofy, dog. Like I'm so silly, and my kids helped me with that. But I was just thinking one day, and I just said, I seen I had a little blue jean jacket. And And I like to be, I like to bring. I'm goofy. I like to bring that around when I'm around. So I just was sitting around thinking around the house, and I said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna put that part of my video." And then thanks to his vision and his guidance, we made it come together. You gotta appreciate Palms, man. He's a great person. He who I came to when I wanted to be comfortable to get back in here to be able to show my gift. And I damn sure appreciate him, if I can say it. Damn.
All respect, man. Respect. I appreciate you too as well because, I was talking to him on the phone yesterday and I was like, I really do appreciate you investing into me. And like the way he invested into me was like, yo, because you shot with me, that was able for me to keep my lights on. And like, there's just like a certain level of appreciation that I have to like show love and respect and to be like, you know what? I want to look into this guy. And I looked into this guy and he's like mad consistent. So like when I'm seeing all his videos and him being online and going on live, when I tell you he online every day. So like the respect and admiration for somebody who's consistent, like, yo, we could really like take things to the next level. And like we was just strategizing over the phone, like, yo, what we gonna do next to like take you to your next level, you know what I'm saying? Because like I really do genuinely believe in him, yo.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. What we're gonna do next, we got Catch Me If You Can. This video that, y'all know the movie Leonardo DiCaprio. We're gonna bring our own little twist to it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I got Medusa. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell a real story behind Medusa because Medusa came to me. I speak to the spiritual guys. That's my universal blessings. And she wanted me to tell a story. I never had nobody come to me like that and wanted me to tell a story that way. And she helped me put it together solely. And my people would know what I mean by that. But yeah, so you got to look for those.
Okay, as far as like Medusa, is it like the typical story of Medusa or is it different?
No, it's the real story of Medusa. Yeah, she was, the R word and, and ridiculed and blamed for something she didn't do. And that's why she was cursed and hunted down and put to the blame. And it's a lot to go behind, the story of Medusa, if you want to look into the real story of Medusa.
Oh, well, see, now I'm curious. I want to check it out. But I'm even more curious because that's one of the next videos that's up for us. Ain't it?
No, Catch Me If You Can.
Catch me. I'm sorry. Catch Me If You Can. Yeah, but are you looking to do a video for that one?
Yeah. Okay. I got the costume actually. Y'all seen it? It's a full stone costume. I got a crown. You know what I mean? I only play two little roles. The role of being stoned by Medusa. Yeah. And I got my wife. She gonna be Medusa. I'm gonna bring her back for one more video. I ain't gonna wear her out. I ain't gonna wear her out though. But she already knows she was gonna play Medusa now. She got a little for sale because she took the video. We won it in the coin toss. She won. She won the love for sale in the coin toss, y'all. So yeah, man. Gotta love my wife, man.
That's what's up, man. How do you balance like everything as far as like the music, work, kids, wife?
Ooh, man. You just gotta. I'm a full-time dad, man. I'm blessed to be able to be with them, be my kids every day, and I take time for myself, and I mean it. You got to take time for yourself, and in that time for myself, I utilize it wisely. I don't rest. When I take time for myself, I do something I love, which is the music or these videos. And then when I finish with that time, I go right back to being a husband and being a father. And I, with my kids as they get older, you get more time throughout the day to do things. And I'm trying to I utilize that time to try to be an entertainer to everybody that's gonna rock with 1800.
That's what's up. What's your social media handles?
D Nasty 1800 everywhere. You can find me.
Okay.
Let me spell it for them though, Palms, because they be spelling my name wrong. You can say it's D Nast. D Nasty, because I'm Jamaican, so it's no Y, DENASTY. I mean, no why.
Okay, all right. So it's really pronounced D Nasty.
Yeah, D Nasty.
Oh, okay. Because I said D Nast.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
No, they call me D Nas too, though.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
got
it's AKA D Nas. You know, just know why.
Okay, got you.
You know what I mean?
All right. Well, y'all gonna see more of us collaborating. So, y'all look out for all these projects that we got coming on. So until next time, peace, yo.
Yes, sir.